Have you ever just looked at, say, a rock and then at a tree and really thought, what is the actual fundamental difference here? Well, today we're going to decode the secret checklist of life itself. We're finding out what it really takes to officially be called alive. I mean, it's the ultimate question, isn't it? It's what separates a pet rock from, an actual pet. Is it about breathing? Is it about moving around? Thinking? The answer is, well, it's a bit more specific than that. And here's the good news. It's not as mystical as it sounds. Biology has basically given us this awesome 8-point checklist. And there's a super handy way to remember it, using the name MRS-GREN. If something can tick every single one of these boxes, congratulations, it's alive. So let's break it down. Okay, so to kick off our checklist, we are diving into the first 3 letters of that handy mnemonic, MRS-GREN. That's M, R, and S. These cover the first 3 absolutely essential processes for life. First up, M is for movement. Now, this one seems kind of obvious, right? It's all about getting from point A to point B. But it's not always as simple as it looks. For animals, movement is pretty hard to miss. I mean, it's a cheetah sprinting after its lunch, a bird soaring through the sky, or, you frantically running for the bus. It's fast, it's obvious, it's life in action. But what about plants? You might think they just sit there, but they move too, just in super slow motion. Think about a sunflower. It actually turns its head to follow the sun across the sky all day. If you watched a time-lapse of it, it looked like it was dancing. And yep, that definitely counts as movement. Okay, the R in MRS-GREN stands for respiration. Now listen, this is a big one and it gets confused with plain old breathing all the time. Breathing is part of the story for sure. But respiration, that's the crucial chemical reaction happening inside every single one of your cells to unlock the energy from your food. Seriously, think of it this way. Every time you eat something, you're basically sending out invitations for trillions of tiny little energy parties all over your body. And the whole point of these parties? To release the energy that lets you do everything else on this list. So number 3, the S in our mnemonic, is for sensitivity. This is all about an organism's ability to notice changes in its environment, what biologists call stimuli, and then actually react to them. It's like having a built-in alert system. Here's a perfect example. You hear that familiar jingle of the ice cream truck? That's the stimulus. Your brain processes that sound and immediately triggers a response. You drop whatever you're doing and sprint outside. That whole chain of events, that's sensitivity in action. All right, we've ticked off M, R, and S. Let's move on to the next couple of letters in MRS-GREN. We've got G for growth and the second R, which stands for reproduction. So let's talk about getting bigger and, well, making more. Okay, so with growth, the really key word here is permanent. It's a permanent increase in size. It's not like blowing up a balloon that can just deflate again. It's about building more cells and increasing what's called your dry mass, which is basically the mass of your body if you took out all the water. And where does all this new building material come from? Well, your food. That sandwich you had for lunch doesn't just vanish. Its molecules are broken down and then reassembled to build more of you. So yeah, that old saying is true. You literally are what you eat. Next up, we have reproduction. Now, this one is unique. While every other process on our list is absolutely essential for the survival of the individual organism, this one is essential for the survival of the entire species. It's about making sure the team keeps going, generation after generation. And of course, living things have all kinds of wild strategies for this. You've got plants, which can be pretty casual about it, just tossing seeds around like confetti and hoping for the best. And then you have animals, including us, who tend to have, shall we say, slightly more involved methods. Let's bring it home now with the last 2 letters of our MRS-GREN checklist, E for excretion and N for nutrition. This is all about managing the fuel coming in and the waste going out. So excretion is basically a vital housekeeping job. All those tiny chemical reactions we talked about, like respiration, they all produce waste products. And if you just let those products build up, they can actually become toxic. So excretion is simply the process of getting that stuff out. So whether you're breathing out carbon dioxide or sweating after a run, or, using other methods, your body is constantly, as the kids say, yeeting toxins just to keep you healthy. And finally, we have N for nutrition. You could argue this is the starting point for almost everything else. It's the whole process of taking in the raw materials your body needs for energy, to grow bigger, and to repair itself. Simply put, no nutrition, no life. And when you look at all of life, there are really two main strategies for this. You've got plants, which are just incredible. They're like tiny solar-powered chefs, making their own food from sunlight through photosynthesis. And then you have animals who have to get their nutrition the old-fashioned way, by eating other living things. Okay, so we have officially covered all 7 processes in MRS GRIN. But wait, there's more. A lot of biologists now include an 8th process, a super crucial one that's like the master controller for everything else. Let's call it the secret VIP of life. And that VIP is homeostasis. This is your body's amazing ability to keep all of its internal conditions, we're talking temperature, water levels, blood sugar, you name it, incredibly stable no matter what kind of chaos is happening in the world outside. It's a great analogy. You're basically a thermostat, but with feelings. You know how the thermostat in your house works to keep the room at a steady temperature? Well, your body is doing that for dozens of different things all at once. It's this unbelievably complex, constant balancing act. Just take your body temperature. Your body is working 24/7 to keep it right around 37 degrees Celsius. If you start to get too hot, you sweat, which cools you down. If you get too cold, your muscles start to shiver to generate heat. That right there, that's perfect homeostasis in action. So there you have it, the whole shebang, the complete 8-point checklist for life. Movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, nutrition, and holding it all together, the master controller, homeostasis. If something can do all of these, it passes the test. It's officially alive. But I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. As our technology gets more and more complex, these lines might start to get a little blurry. A sophisticated AI can take in data. That's a form of nutrition, right? It uses energy. It can grow its knowledge. It can respond to stimuli. At what point does our biological checklist maybe need an update? Now that's a question we're all going to be facing pretty soon. Thanks for joining this explainer.